of boxing.
At Barry's Boxing with WBC welterweight champion Showtime Shawn Porter, he takes on unbeaten Errol Spence, the IBF welterweight champion, on September the 28th at the Staples Center in L.A., of course on PBC Fox pay-per-view. First off, good to see you again.
Thank you, man. Always good to be in your presence.
Let's talk a little bit about this particular training camp for what, in my opinion, is the biggest fight of your career, Errol Spence. Yeah. Any wrinkles? Any new wrinkles?
It's been great, man. We were able to go out to D.C. and get some training in. We just got back from D.C. But I feel like the camp here in Vegas before moving to D.C. was a little bit more extended, longer than I expected. I think my dad just felt it was the best thing for me to do, to stay around here, stay with the protocols that we have out here, and stick with the program. And it really did prove to be the right move to make. You know, we went out to the D.C. and rumbled with the young cats out there. Definitely got rejuvenated and got a good taste of being in the ring with some young guys that are hungry, you know, and got to see myself in those guys' eyes. You know, I remember and I know what it feels like to be hungry.
Let's break down Errol Spence. Let's talk offensively. First off, what does he do best inside the squared circle offensively?
He keeps his hands up. He's very, 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 very fundamentally sound. I think the fundamentals overlooked. A lot of times if you say a guy's fundamental, I think other people may think that, oh, well, he can't do this, he can't do that. Errol Spence uses the fundamentals precisely. Great jab, great 1-2. He likes to throw the straight left to the body as well as dig to the body. So he likes to mix it up, man. He's young in the game, 25 fights, but he's definitely to this point he's very crafty at this point.
Defensively, what does he do well?
Keeps his hands up. He likes to take steps back to get out of the range of the guy that's coming after him, and you know, he knows how to navigate and use the ring.
Weaknesses that you see in him, or flaws, something you can exploit?
I think a lot of guys he's been in the ring with, they'll give him a 1, a 1-2, or a 1-2-3, and that's it. Showtime Shawn Porter is going to give him 5, 6, 7 punch combinations and going to keep the pressure on him. I think that's something that he's not used to. I don't think that's something that he's really prepared to deal with.
You mentioned if I saw any flaw at all, sometimes he does go straight back. I don't like guys to go straight back in that line, so that's something you might be able to capitalize on. Now this guy is a southpaw, and if I'm correct, I don't think you fought a southpaw in like 6 years since Devin Alexander. Not that you don't spar with southpaws all the time, but will that present any issues for you? Did you even know that you haven't faced a southpaw in about 6 years?
I tell you what, man, I made a deal with myself when I was young that I would never allow a southpaw stance to bother me. I remember going to tournaments and guys would always complain about fighting a southpaw, and I said, what's the big deal? And so I never wanted to be the guy to complain. So I said, I'm going to figure it out, you know. So I think at a very young age, I learned how to deal with southpaws, the way they throw the punches, the angles that they come from, things like that. I think being in the ring with Manny Pacquiao really, really helped me. Being in camp with Freddie Roach really, really helped me. They were able to give me the perspective and insight from their point of view. And, I mean, what other point of view do you need other than Manny Pacquiao to keep third?
Pretty good southpaw.
Yeah, Manny Pacquiao and Freddie Roach, you know. Aside from being in the ring with Devin Alexander, I have sparred with numerous southpaws, so this southpaw would not be a challenge for me.
One advantage that you have, in my opinion, is experience. You've been a pro longer. You've had more fights. You've had 111 more rounds, facing guys like, you know, Kell Brook and Keith Thurman and Danny Garcia, although he's taken on Kell Brook as well. But experience, do you see that, as I do, as a certain advantage for you? I'm
an in-studio analyst now for Fox.
I know, I watch.
Inside PBC Boxing, which airs on FS.
And I told you, by the way, a long damn time ago, you'd be really good at it.
So here's my analytical approach to that question right there. When you talk about experience, some experiences you don't know until you get in there and you have them. You know, for me, things like having cuts and stuff like that, people said, well, Shawn handled that like he had cuts before. I never had cuts before, but I paid attention. I watched other guys and how they react when they had cuts, things like that. When you're a guy that's not used to being pushed around, when you're a guy that's not used to being pressured the way I'm going to pressure Errol Spence, you will get to a point where you're looking at, man, it's only the 6th round. I've never felt like this in the 6th round. You'll get to the 8th round and you're like, I've never gone 8 rounds this many times and I've never felt it like this. There's going to be some questions that are going to present themselves just from a lack of experience. And I'm looking forward to that.
Do you think being an analyst now doing fights, as I've done for so many years, can even help you as a fighter who's still active? The fact that you're there breaking it down, maybe you even focus on things in your own game.
I think so. I think that the things that I brought to Fox, I think to this point are things that I've learned and been taught by my dad, other coaches, so on and so forth. But I think also the opportunity and the necessity to study more fighters and study more has definitely maybe opened my eyes to see some things that I may not have been open to previously, to having to look at certain things and study certain things with a number of fighters now.
So break it down. What's going to happen on the 28th?
Everybody wants me to break it down. The easiest way to put it, the simplest way to put it, the most effective way to put it, I'm in a point in my life right now where I know what I want and I go after what I want.
What do you want?
I don't allow anything to stop me. I want to be Errol Spence. I want to give Errol Spence his first loss. Simple as that. I want to take that belt away from Errol Spence. Not so that he can get a taste of what it feels like to lose, and not so that he can get a taste of what it feels like to lose your belt, but to be the one to do it. No one's done it. I want to prove everyone wrong. I want to shock the world, and that's what I'm going to do September 28th.
Okay, we don't want to look beyond the fight, but you and I have been talking about something for many, many years. So I get the shot. I get the shot after Spence.
We have to. 2019 will not end without us getting in the ring.
He is the WBC welterweight champion. Of course, he takes on Errol Spence on the 28th. I'm really looking.
Try to strike a strong deal with him.
Yeah, I'm just really looking forward to the fight. Best of luck, and it was always great seeing you.
Thank you very, very much. Good to see you, Smitty.